Welcome along to the National Aquatic Centre in Bukit Jalil for the final of the men's water polo, the final round robin match, but it is the match that will decide the destination of the gold medal. This new venue, built purposely for the 29th Southeast Asian Games, has seen some fantastic action over the last few days. We saw Singapore's women get silver yesterday. Can the men go one better and clinch the gold medal? We do have some thunderstorms forecast a little bit later on. High humidity once again here. Very, very warm inside this venue, which is partly covered, so an extra dimension for the athletes to cope with. The water temperature was kept very warm in these competitions as well, so it really does sap the energy having been in the water for those 4 8-minute quarters. Look at the teams going through their final preparations. Singapore have been so dominant, of course, in the men's water polo. Win gold every year, and their winning run, they hadn't failed to win a game since they took on Indonesia the other day and ended up having to get a late equaliser for a 4-4 draw. Somewhat of a surprise and a little bit of a shock, but they'll hope to bounce back from that today against the host nation, who are extremely well supported, as you could imagine. It is just a shortish 5-hour bus ride from Singapore if you want to come the overland route. And plenty have taken that option to come here and support Singapore in these Southeast Asian Games. Here come the Malaysians, who know that they're guaranteed at least a bronze medal. If they could cause a shock and beat Singapore here today, it would lift them onto 6 points and into silver, meaning Indonesia would take the gold. But Singapore will be desperate to bounce back from that 4-4 draw against the Indonesians a couple of days ago. Deja Malakovic, the coach, was banished to the stands from that game, having picked up a red card earlier on in the tournament, and his influence on the side of the pool was sorely missed. But he's back today to hopefully guide his side through to what could be Singapore's 4th gold medal of these 29th Southeast Asian Games. So as always, we'll have the introductions to the crowd, both teams, followed by the national anthems.
Team Singapore. Introducing the players. In white, cap number 1, DARREN CHIAM. Number 2, LOONG, captain of the team. Number 3, YING. Number 4, CHOW. Number 5, BRYAN LOONG. Number 6, Samuel Moses NAN-FENG. Number 7, KWANG. Number 8, Anjun. Number 9, number 10, Number 11, YING. Number 12, KWANG. And number 13, CHIAM. The coach for Singapore, in blue caps, the team from Malaysia. Introducing the players. In blue cap number 1, TSHIEN.
Good receptions from the Malaysian players. Can they pull off what would be a real shock here if they were to beat Singapore today? Lost their opening match against the Indonesians. Narrow victory over the Philippines before beating Thailand. Thailand finishing bottom of the 5-team group with no points from their 4 matches played.
Number 7, SYAHIR. Number 8, Anderson Wong Number 9, So Young-Lee.
13 players making up the water polo squads, 2 goalkeepers.
Number 11, LEUNG.
That was
Number 12,
Yang, the substitute goalkeeper for the Malaysians.
and number 13, CHIAM. The coach for Malaysia,
There is the Malaysian team currently in 3rd place in the group.
From Japan.
2 match officials who have the difficult job of keeping control in the pool. Look out for plenty of fouls, and fouls with exclusion as well for the more serious misdemeanors.
From Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of both countries. First, the national anthem of Singapore.
Applause for the Singapore national anthem, and now we will have the anthem of the host nation, Malaysia. Always a proud moment to hear your national anthem when you're representing your country. But of course it's even better when you're a winner, and that's what Singapore will be hoping. They've heard their anthem once, they hope to hear it for a second time a little bit later on after this final match. Singapore, as you can see, will be in the white caps today, Malaysia in the blue. 4 8-minute quarters coming up, and there will be no quarter spared by either of these sides as they bid to end the tournament on a high. Won their opening 2 games quite comfortably, Singapore, 13-2 against Thailand and 7-5 over the Philippines, but it was that third match against the Indonesians where they trailed with 2 minutes to go. Needed a late equaliser in that one. All ended on a bad-tempered note, as well as Low ZZ, the captain, was excluded permanently, and that man there, Dejan Milakovic, was given a red card as well, hence being banned from the pool side for their match against Indonesia. That was in the game against the Philippines. But he's the man who brought in February to try and turn around Singapore's, or keep Singapore's fortunes in this competition going. 27 gold medals if they win one here today. New regime, 6 days a week training now, 2 days a week they do double sessions. So he really has put his mark on things very, very quickly. There is the Singapore team. Lislo ZZ back, he's the captain. Good experience, good strength in there as well. Samuel Moses was the man that was sent off in the match against Indonesia. Yonghui, the man in charge of the Malaysians. DARREL Koo Tiong-jin is the captain, wearing number 10. Finished outside the medals in the last 2 editions in 4th place, so if they could get a victory here today to lift them above Singapore into second, they guaranteed the bronze. Can they go one better and get the silver? The start could be all important here. Singapore get off to a fast start. Could be very difficult to try and rein back any sort of lead they could put on in the opening quarter. Strong in the match against Thailand. They were 4-0 up after the first 8 minutes, so similar kind of start today, I'm sure Dejan Milakovic would be delighted with from his team. There's the group as it stands, 2 points for a win, so a victory for Singapore would take them on to 7. As long as they win by 2 clear goals, they would be victorious on goal difference. As you can see, Malaysia there in 3rd place. Philippines beaten earlier today by Indonesia in their final match. So the Philippines and Thailand will finish out of the medals. It's between the top 3, but which order will they finish in? Three gold medals so far for Singapore. So Ru Yong winning the marathon yesterday. Mia Yong and Debbie So in the aquatic synchronized, and Debbie So getting a solo free medal in the routine as well. Silver for the women's water polo players yesterday morning. What can the men do here? To Yi Hang, wearing number 6, will contest the opening swim off, and it looks like it'll be Yip Yang for Singapore. Feisty Serbian Dejan Milakovic. Here we go then, it's the final of the men's water polo. Singapore taking on Malaysia. 2 points at stake to decide the destination of the gold medal. Indonesia can only sit and watch, having beaten the Philippines earlier. And first possession of the ball goes to Singapore. 30 seconds, don't forget to get a shot in on target, or get a shot in. The possession will turn over to the opposition. You can see that shot clock ticking away in the top of your screen there. Inside 10 seconds already, and an early interception there by the Malaysian goalkeeper, XIANG. Host nation on their first attack. 12 years since they last won a medal. Took a bronze at the 2005 games in Manila. So this goes down as a successful campaign already. Now breakaway on here for Singapore. Yang, who won that opening swim-off. Looking to get a man in at centre. It's Jing that's trying to get there, but a man sneaking in on the blind side. The shot comes back off the crossbar. Pressure still on the clock, will reset itself as the shot came in on target. Yang again. Good driving move from Singapore to set up that initial chance. Foul by KWANG. Another shot comes in from distance, pushed away this time by the Malaysian keeper XIANG. And Ming with the shot from a long way out. Here he is again. All the action in at centre, just in front of the goalkeeper, in the hole as it's deemed. That's where most of the exclusion fouls will come from. It's LOONG that's in there for Singapore. DARYL the captain, in fact the two captains tussling away. Infringement by Singapore, though, hands the ball back to Malaysia. There's a shot from a long way out from Jie. This is the Malaysian goalkeeper, CHIEW. Wonder if we'll see him on the mix a little bit later on. In towards LOONG at centre once again. To be backing into DARYL. Still possession with Singapore though, no exclusions as yet. Always important to try and take advantage of the extra man. And they got an extra man challenge here. That was Jing trying to burst through. Still only is a conventional foul. Another shot skips off the surface of the water and away from LOONG. Ball is thrown in from the corner if it touches the defender or goalkeeper on the way behind the net. So Malaysia still on the attack here. Good promising spell for them. It's a good important hand in by Yang. Yang, the goalkeeper, just weighing up his options. Singapore's dominance in Southeast Asia has never really been replicated in the bigger tournaments. The best they've finished in an Olympic Games, their only appearance was in 1956 when they finished in 10th place. But certainly this tournament has been very good to them as they go in search of a 27th gold medal. Another turnover foul gives the ball back to the host nation. You can see what the referees have to contend with, all the action going on underneath the water level. It's a wayward shot from CHIAM. Good vision, good long ball again, and a chance here for Singapore to take the lead. And this time they do find the net. YING putting Singapore in front. Just about halfway through the first quarter, finding that little bit of space. Beat the goalkeeper, Yang at the near post. And that will settle any early nerves for Singapore, getting themselves in front. You'll see plenty of substitutions during the course of the game as well. Won't play too much store into the opening lineups. 13 players, as I say, available to both coaches. Malaysia back on the attack straight away. CHIAM with a shot that fizzes wide. It's been a very good start by both teams, both looking very aggressive going forward. So unpredictable when the ball skips off the surface of the water at speed. Good goalkeeping there by Yang. Be disappointed to have been beaten at his near post, the goalkeeper. Yang with some space. Tried to lob the goalkeeper, but Yang managed to recover his position. See that shot used a lot in water polo, the chip, but straight at the other end. Singapore have gone the direct route, and BRYAN makes it 2. Well, from attack at one end to attack at the other. And Singapore have doubled their advantage. Great strength by Wong to get away from Wong. No chance for the goalkeeper. And the lead doubled very, very quickly here in the first quarter. But Malaysia will immediately come straight back at Singapore. A couple of minutes to go in the opening quarter. The foul sees the ball turned back over. And again, it's that long ball forward as BRYAN just holds up, waiting for some support. Yang going for the whip option here with Chow. Brilliant strike from a long way out. It didn't cross the line according to the line judge. There was a judge looking along the line of each goal to see when the ball crosses the line. It was mighty close. There was one similar went against the women yesterday in the game against Thailand. Hit the underside of the bar and was deemed to have crossed the line. That one not so according to the officials. Very, very close though. Real scrap under the waterline. Great view from the underwater camera. Time out here. It's been called by Singapore, I think. Milakovic. This is what they missed against Indonesia when he wasn't on the sideline. The ability just to get some instructions across. Very experienced coach. Played for the former Yugoslavia at youth level. Also for Partizan Belgrade and Red Star in the Serbian Water Polo League. And they've already set a target for next year's Asian Games in Jakarta. Says the minimum he's expecting is them to finish in 4th place in next year's Asian Games, carrying in the form from this tournament. Final minute of the opening quarter then. It's been a good one so far for Singapore. JUNJIE moving the ball around well. That will be the first exclusion of the match. Right in front of goal, the foul on Jun. So a man advantage here for Singapore in the final few seconds. Can they take advantage to make it 3? Comes off the underside of the bar again and doesn't cross the line once again. So the first man-up play that Singapore have had, they're unable to capitalise on, and Malaysia have now called a timeout. Quick shot goalwards, it was just centimetres away from being a 3-0 lead coming up towards the end of the first quarter. Time for one more play, unless the ball's turned over, of course. So Malaysia's last chance to get themselves a foot back into the game at the end of the first quarter. Home crowd urging them on. It's JIE that couldn't find a way through. Still has possession though. And the whistle had gone. Tried to get the quick shot in, but didn't manage to find a way through. It hit the underside of the bar before being gathered by the goalkeeper, and that will just about see out the first quarter. There's that final shot inside of the post, in fact, for Malaysia. So YING and BRYAN with the goals for Singapore in that first quarter. A couple of minute break to turn things around. Players don't change ends until half time, so it's a few quick instructions from the coaches before the second quarter begins. Confirmation that Singapore leading here by 2-0 after the first 8 minutes of action. So the game's officially open today, despite the fact there have already been 4 or 5 days of competition. The opening ceremony last night. Yasmin Sir, the shooter for Singapore, was the flag bearer in that glitzy opening ceremony at the National Stadium. Malaysia currently leading the way in terms of the gold medal table with 7. 84 golds for Singapore, of course, back in 2015 on home soil. But they're targeting 52 golds here over the next couple of weeks, which would be their best haul on foreign soil. Their previous best was 43 medals back in 2007 in Thailand. And they're a quarter of the way to picking up another gold here. Second swim off of the day. This time it'll be CHOW against To Yihang for Malaysia. Off we go then, second quarter. think Singapore just had that one. In fact, no, it's gone to Malaysia. So first attack for Voon Yong-hui's side at the start of the second quarter. That shot clock seems to tick down very quickly when you're trailing in water polo. 30 seconds seems like a long time, but when you need to get back into the match, it's not a great deal of time at all. Ko Jianying. Drilled into centre, exclusion against Tan Yijun. So the extra man advantage at the start of the second quarter for Singapore. Tussle going on at centre. Lo Zizi, the captain. Right, bypassing him, might be a little bit of a decoy. Now, did that cross the line? It looked as though it might have. Certainly Cham Kun Yang's looking at the line judge, but no goal given. Well, my first instinct was that had crossed the line. And that's over the line, surely. Not given. So a little bit of a let-off there for Malaysia. See the look on the face of Cham Kun Yang. He was convinced that was over the line, and replay seemed to suggest the same. Good save by Lee Kai-yang at the other end. So unpredictable when the ball hits the face of the water at speed. Goalkeepers need such good reactions. Good ball played into space, but good defending. Two defenders quickly back there to win it back for Singapore. Couple of changes for Voon Yong-hui. Just over 2 minutes gone in the second quarter. And shot from a long way out there, which would have to be pretty special to beat Lee Kai-yang, who's been pretty impressive so far in goal for Singapore. Towards Lo Zizi at centre once again, but the space just opens up and Singapore have another. It's Ko Jing once again. Second goal of the game to make it 3-0. And Singapore may feel justified in their celebrations, having had one not given a moment or so ago. But Ko Jing took his time, got higher to the water to fire it beyond XIANG in the Malaysian goal, and gets his second goal of the match. Singapore very much in control now. That could be an exclusion for pulling, so first extra man attack for Malaysia now. Yip Yang into the exclusion zone. He'll be replaced by a substitute when that 10 seconds is up. And Malaysia have got themselves back into the match. Pham Jia Yi gets their first goal. So that little bit of indiscipline has cost Singapore in the second quarter. And the host nations are back in it with their first goal. Shot clock has run out on Singapore that time. And the crowd just getting behind Malaysia as well, having got that opening goal. So promising signs for the host nation if they could maybe grab another before half-time. DARREL the captain. Might have a go himself here. Good save, Lee Ka-yang. And it's another great ball into space. KWANG looking for his third, but getting back was KWANG. LOUNG. It's away from his man, brilliant goal. Captain leading by example. Strong swimming to get away from his marker. And fired brilliantly into the top corner beyond the goalkeeper. And Singapore restoring the 3-goal cushion. Last couple of times Singapore have played Malaysia in this competition, they scored 19 and 18 respectively. And they're on the rampage looking for another one here. It's mishandled by YING, who's already scored twice. Looking for his hat-trick. The break on here for TSHIEN. Wasn't a great ball though, asking a little bit too much of his attacking partner. Into centre, another foul drawn, I think they're on LOUNG, so another exclusion for Malaysia. Timeout called by Singapore. Having taken advantage of their extra man so far, Malaysia did have that one opportunity which they managed to score from. So Singapore with the extra man play, 2:14 to go in the first half. And they lead by 4 goals to 1 as they go in search of the gold medal. Right in their time, have to be quick, the man's coming back, but they have managed to capitalise, move the ball around nicely, and CHIAM gets their 5th goal. Singapore leading now 5-1. It's a tug back by DARYL. And quickly the free throw taken. by Singapore. And they're starting to open things up a little bit now. It's Yang who gets number 6. And this is turning into a very one-sided battle. Malaysia just stopped for a moment after that free throw was given, and it allowed Singapore to move down. There was an option on in the centre, but Yang opting to go it alone. And when shot bounces up and away off the goalkeeper. Wong, it was a good save, had to readjust his position, and the goalkeeper was moving to his other side. It's an exclusion there against Chow Lun. Malaysia made advantage, or took advantage rather, of their extra man. They've called a timeout here. Boon Yong-hui to try and find a way through. Good crowd in attendance, as you can see, for the final match of the water polo. Can they end the half on a high, the host nation? Good defending by Singapore. Brilliantly done, and they're back to a full complement now as well. Very good defending. And straight away back on the attack at the other end. This could be the final attack of the first half. Full throw for Singapore. Ball has to come back outside the 5-metre area if it's a foul inside that zone. The player can't go directly for goal. An exclusion there for So Young-wee. Have to be quick here. Clock's about to run out for Singapore. They're not interested in getting in a last-minute shot, so a dominant first 16 minutes for the defending champions, and already you feel they're on the way to picking up Singapore's 4th gold medal of these 29th Southeast Asian Games. Half-time in the final water polo match in the round-robin section, which would see, as it stands, Singapore take gold. They lead Malaysia by 6 goals to 1 at the halfway point. And the Malaysian fans doing the best to get behind their team, but it is a tall order for them now in the final quarter. They trail Singapore by 6 goals to 1. They are guaranteed the bronze, don't forget Malaysia, but a victory would have lifted them above Singapore into second. But having drawn 4-4 with Indonesia, Singapore have been lethal and clinical in their finishing, and that's been the difference in the opening half. So change of ends, Singapore playing from right to left in the second half in the white caps, and they will get the ball in possession from the first swim off with Yang, one of the goal scorers in the third quarter. And straight away Dejan Milakovic's side on the attack. Well, hits the post, hits the goalkeeper, hits the bar, and somehow stays out. A little bit of luck that time for Malaysian goalkeeper. Let's have a look at this one. Off the post, off the goalkeeper's back, underside of the bar, no goal. And a snapshot from JING from long way out, but wide of the target. Two of Singapore's 3 goals already came in this venue, and they could well be on their way to another. It's another goal from KWANG. Third goal of the game for him. And the advantage continues to grow. A chance for Malaysia. Didn't get the foul though. Yang will bring the ball clear for Singapore. Foul went the other way against the attacker. They've had a little push out at the goalkeeper after the whistle had gone as well, which caused an inquiring look from Yang towards the umpire. Great finish again, Liu Zhizi. Singapore captain gets another. That's his second goal of the game. And the difference in quality between the two sides is starting to show now. Couple for the captain to increase the advantage to 8-1. Well, it's hit the post, and Malaysia having no luck in front of goal at the moment. KWANG was beaten. It was the goal frame that was there to save his side. So goes the way of Singapore, and they've taken it quickly, and that just goes skimming wide from Ming Sean. A lot of these players played in Singapore 2 years ago. Shot clock running down. 30 seconds ticking away, so Singapore back with possession. It was a foul by Bryan that time, so Malaysia win the ball back. Anderson Wong. Went for the lob shot, plucked out of the air by CHIAM. Frustrating so far for the Malaysians. This is where Singapore looked dangerous as well on the break. Great distribution by the goalkeeper. Yang, quite capable of going it alone from there if he wanted to, but he sets up his teammates in the centre, and Cham Kun Yang. That's Chow Ying Lun actually that's put the ball in from close range. It's 9-1. Getting himself in on the act. Six different scorers now for Singapore. Free scoring now. Lo Jiji gets his third of the game. And Singapore here into double figures. And it looks as though they're going to take the gold medal here in some style. We've still got plenty of time to go. Might be a case of damage limitation for the Malaysians. 3 for the captain, 3 for Ko Jing. I'm sure there's plenty more to come. Liang. There's an exclusion foul against Cham Kun Yang. Timeout, I think, has been called here by the Malaysian coach Boon Young Hui. 3:06 to go in the third quarter. Difficult to know what instructions he can give his team really to break down this very strong Singapore side. Certainly making up for that 4-4 draw against Indonesia a couple of days ago, which was totally unexpected, of course, as we said. So Malaysia with the extra player for the next 10 seconds. Good defending from Singapore, got those 3 men back along the line in front of goal, making it difficult to find any space for the extra man. May have to be a long range shot. Wide to Anderson Wong. No real space at centre. And the excluded man was very quickly back into play, and foul goes against So Young Wee. So possession back in the arms of Singapore goalkeeper CHIAM. That's another goal, seemingly scoring at will every time they go forward now. Chow Ling-yun. That's his second goal of this third quarter. Again, the angle was tight. The goalkeeper will be disappointed to have been beaten from that sort of angle, but such was the quality in the shot. Chow Ling-yun comfortably found a way through. Just a little bit of indiscipline from the captain, Lo Gigi, who will swim away for 10 seconds. So the extra man again for Malaysia. They haven't capitalised on the last couple that they've had. And Jun will be the player that comes back in after that 10 seconds is served. Again, the ball hits the frame of the goal. It's still back with Malaysia though. Oh, great chance. Just a slight mishandle there from MOHD SYAHIR. So having an ice packet on his shoulder. MOHD at half-time. Fist pump from KWANG as he prevents another goal. And here comes Singapore once again. I think they've scored with their last 5 or 6 shots in a row. And they've scored with this one as well. Cham Kun Yang. And Malaysia have no answer to this attacking onslaught at the moment. 1 minute the ball's back with their own goalkeeper. The next minute his opposite numbers picking it out of the net for the 13th time. 12th time rather. Any more misery on Malaysia than there is at the moment, but the way it's going at the moment, it won't be long before that number 13 comes. Anderson Wong. Marshalled by Ko Jian-ying. Another one strikes the bar. They've hit the frame about 3 times, I think, now, Malaysia. They've been a little unfortunate in front of goal. It's a ferocious shot. Nothing the goalkeeper could do to get anywhere near it. Rattle the frame. Approaching the final 20 seconds of the third quarter. And it's another goal. It's been remarkable this third quarter. I think every single shot that Singapore have had has found its way into the back of the net. Ko Jian-ying with another. Seven goals without reply in this third quarter. 4 goals for Ko Jian-ying. And the buzzer will sound in just a second for the end of the third quarter, and Malaysia, I'm sure, just want to get this one over now. Singapore all smiles, as you can imagine. Dominant over the first 24 minutes, but the coach will want them to carry on this effort right to the very last buzzer. At the end of the third, Singapore lead Malaysia by 13 goals to 1.
AJ, stay behind. Samuel, Icha, Jis, to the right side. Okay, one more. Okay, finish it. Okay, stay. Good luck. This is good luck. Okay, nothing else. Enjoy. Just be cool. Be gentle, always. Don't be fool. Okay, go. Come on. Finish it. Come on, guys. 3, 2, 1,
Singapore, Malaysia.
I heard a few words from the coach there. And one more time, 8 minutes to go. Shell shock really by the show of offensive play from Singapore. Reminds you of the way the quarters have gone in terms of scoring. 2-0 in the first to Singapore, 5-1 in the second, 7-0 in the third. So the second, 4-1 in the second quarter. But either way, Singapore have won every quarter so far. Maybe that's what Malaysia are trying to do now, just to give them a little bit of a final boost, is to win this final quarter. Han will contest the swim-off. Once again, it's going to be JUNJIE that wins it for Singapore. Final 8 minutes then. Singapore heading towards another gold medal in the men's water polo tournament. They've dominated from tournament start at this event. There's a shot in desperation there from BRYAN with a shot clock down to its final second. Couldn't get any power in it at all to test the keeper. DARREL captain. That's a good ball. And once again, it just runs away into the hands of the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper's eye view there of proceedings ahead in the pool. Free throw to Malaysia. Tip wide again by the goalkeeper. Just fingertip away from CHIAM. Just looking for consolations really now, the host nation. Disappointing day for them at the pool. Singapore coming forward again with men over. For once they haven't managed to find the net that time. Yang rather with a shot. It's a good save. Yang hasn't managed to keep too many out of the Singapore shots. Did well on that occasion. Turnover foul against Singapore. Mention that Dejan Milakovic's target is to try and finish 4th at the Asian Games in Jakarta next year. That would represent one better than they did in Incheon in 2014 when they finished 5th out of 7 water polo teams. Just goes to show how far they are behind the likes of China in terms of competing in Asia. Southeast Asia, very dominant. When you bring in some of the other teams from other parts of Asia, that's what Milakovic is hoping he can help turn around their fortunes over the next 12 months or so. And Singapore temporarily a player down, so timeout called by Voon Yong Hui. Side have found the net just once so far, but they have managed to keep Singapore at bay in the opening 3.5 minutes of this final quarter. Just a minute for the timeout, so not too much time for the coaches to get their words across. Well, they've finally got themselves another goal. LEUNG LIANG. Coach will be happy he's managed to make the extra player move work. Doesn't make a huge amount of difference in terms of the outcome of this match though. 13-2 now to Singapore. The first team goal of this 29th Southeast Asian Games for Singapore. Don't forget the women's netball players have a chance a little later on as well when they take on Thailand of picking up another gold medal. Great ball across, Singapore biding their time to get the shot in, hits the angle of post and bar with the extra player. And Malaysia on the attack once again. Can they reduce the deficit a little bit more? Yes, they can, is the answer to that. So Yong Lee finds a way through. Under the arms of the goalkeeper. They've changed the goalkeeper. Singapore in this final quarter, it's Legitan DARREN. It's So Yong Hui managing to find a way through. That defending again allows YING to get yet another. Long way out, the goalkeeper's momentum was going the other way. 5 goals for him. It's been a pretty successful day. 2015 gold medal winner with Singapore. Referee spots an infringement by Malaysia, so Singapore can go back on the attack. Might get another goal here as well to continue going in the right direction. And Wei Ming Sean. And just when it looked as though Malaysia might win this fourth quarter, it's back to 2 goals each. (15-3) in total, with just over a couple of minutes to go. You can start celebrating already. It's a Singapore timeout. Just a few final words inside the final 2 minutes from the Serbian coach.
Hey, I just want to say one thing. Thank you. We are fucking champions. Come on, let's finish this.
Nice words from the coach. You heard they just said, just want to say one thing. Thank you. Let's finish this. So simple instructions. Chance just to use up his timeout. Didn't need to use it in any sort of tactical way, but just to thank his players for taking him to a gold medal in his first major tournament in charge. Dejan Milakovic having taken over in February. Also working with the women's team as well to try and help them along the way after seeing them through to silver, working with the women's coach, looking to improve the players' physical fitness and ability was one of his key aims, and seemingly he's done that. Another exclusion foul as KWANG TIONG is forced to swim out for 10 seconds. And once again, Singapore's clinical finishing in front of goal pays dividends. It's another goal for Yang. That's what drew the foul. And there's the end result. Another goal. Final minute then. Still possession will stay with Singapore. And they've made it another as well. 17-3. Couldn't be a more dominant final showing. JUNJIE gets his name on the scorers list. See what it means to them. Still celebrating the goals. JUNJIE, just 18 years of age, played at the Asian Swimming Championships. Gets a goal in the final match for his team here in Kuala Lumpur. Exclusion foul against Anganyun. And Malaysia have managed to find a way through. To Yi Hang. gets their fourth of the match. So they're not quite going to win this final quarter, but they've given a good effort. It's been their best quarter in terms of scoring for Malaysia. 4-3 in favour of Singapore in this quarter. It was that third quarter that did all the damage when Singapore scored 7 without reply. And they are going to be worthy gold medal winners by virtue of finishing top of the round-robin group on goal difference. There goes the final hooter, and Singapore's remarkable record of gold medals in this Southeast Asian Games continues. Gold number 27. Not quite as straightforward as they would perhaps have liked. They had to finish level on points in the end with Indonesia, but by virtue of a superior goal difference, and it was some goal difference in the end. Plus 26 as opposed to Indonesia's plus 14. Singapore are the gold medal winners. They can rightly celebrate. Malaysia get their first medal in 12 years, finishing with the bronze. Indonesia get the silver. Coach has done the traditional thing and ended up in the water with his players. But it's Singapore's fourth gold of these 29th Southeast Asian Games, and they won't have long to wait. The medal ceremony coming up very, very soon indeed. Disappointing for Malaysia, but they'll draw some positives of the way they played in this tournament throughout the whole of the competition. Victories over the Philippines and over Thailand, and they have a medal to show for their efforts.
You deserve it, okay? You deserve it, okay? 3 cheers for ourselves, okay?
3 cheers for ourselves!
And again, you heard the coach there saying, we deserve it, we've got the bronze. And they will enjoy, as will the home crowd, seeing the presentation in just a few moments' time. Dijan Malakovic makes his way out of the water. He won't mind too much. But it's been a great day for Singapore. It's another gold medal. It's another water polo gold medal. Confirmation of the final score. Singapore 17, Malaysia 4. Singapore take gold, Indonesia silver, and Malaysia bronze. Confirmation of the table. So that superior goal difference. Despite the fact they finished on 7 points, the same as Indonesia. And the two coaches embracing once again. Singapore can celebrate them, the gold medal for them. And as I say, the gold medal ceremony will be coming up very soon. Hopefully you can join us for that. welcome back to the National Aquatic Centre for the medal ceremony for the men's water polo, which concluded round about 40 minutes or so ago. Another fascinating tournament over the last 4 or 5 days, and we finally have our 3 medal winners. Final match which really decided the destination of the gold medal was something of a one-sided affair, but earlier on Indonesia beat the Philippines to clinch their spot in second place with a silver medal. They briefly were at the top of the table. We wonder what response we'd get from Singapore after that 4-4 draw with Indonesia, the first time they'd actually been held in this competition since its inception. But the answer was they responded brilliantly to beat the host nation Malaysia by 17 goals to 4 in the final match.
The medals will be presented by Miss Grace Khoo, Minister of Culture, Community and Youth of Singapore. And the mascot and sibling will be presented by Mr. Anindya Novian Bakri, President of the Indonesia Swimming Federation.
There's our medal presentation party, about to get things underway. This time yesterday it was the Singapore women's team that were on the podium picking up a silver medal. The male counterparts have gone one better. It's Singapore's 5th gold medal of these championships. They picked up another couple of golds this morning in the wushu. And in terms of team sports, the women's netball team take on Thailand this afternoon as Singapore look to continue towards their target of potentially 52 gold medals, which would be their best on foreign soil,
Ladies and gentlemen,
having picked up 84 in 2015 in their own country. So for the first time in 12 years, Malaysia get themselves a medal,
represented by
a bronze medal, beaten heavily, as we say, in their final game, 17-4. It was the 3rd quarter from Singapore that really killed them, 7 goals without reply. But even then, their coach was telling them to be proud of their achievements in winning a medal. Missed out in 2015. It was Thailand that took the bronze. This time it's the host nation that can make their way onto the podium. Very well supported here today, the home team, as you can imagine. Nice to see that plenty of their supporters have hung around for the 35-40 minutes or so it's taken just to get the podium and everything ready for the presentation ceremony. Medalists will also be presented with the mascot, the Malaysian tiger named Rimau, and souvenir from the 29th Southeast Asian Games. Apparently he's described the tiger as being gracious, friendly, competitive and athletic. And of course each of the medalists will also receive the One Medal, One Tree initiative as well. The Bulb will be planted at the tropical rainforest in Gerik, northern Perak, and the tree planting program aimed to balance out the game's carbon footprint to create a collection of rare and endangered trees. So it will be a sight to see in a few years' time once those start taking root. And Indonesia and Malaysia rather are your bronze medal winners in the men's water polo. Now it's the turn of the Indonesians, who had such a great tournament. So they nearly caused a big shock by beating Singapore a couple of days ago. Singapore needed a late equaliser to come back in that one. It's 52 years since Singapore were last beaten in this tournament, back in its old format, but since it was reinvented they've gone unbeaten. But as they did in 2015, it's the Indonesians that take the silver medal. Beat the Malaysians in their opening match 4-3.
BRYAN Zainal Arifin, Novian Dwi Putra.
It's actually quite strange to think the tournament officially gets underway today, or certainly the opening ceremony last night, and these guys have already finished their campaigns, with the water polo starting a few days early. I'm sure they'll be hanging around maybe to cheer on their fellow countrymen and women in the events that ensue over the next 13 days or so. Of course, plans for all these medalists start turning towards the Asian Games in Jakarta in 2018. So there are your silver medalists from the water polo, the team from Indonesia.
Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist and SEA Games champion, Singapore.
SEA Games champions is something that has been said on 26 previous occasions to Singapore, as they take yet another gold medal.
Presented by
Legit and Darren, the substitute goalkeeper, came on near the end. Lo Jiji, the captain, scored 3 goals in that 17-4 win. Bryan Ong was also on the score sheet as well. Goals from all around the pool for Singapore. JUNJIE, who came on, the 18-year-old, late on, and also got his name on the score sheet. Yip Yang was one of the standout performers across the whole tournament, as was the next man, YING, who found the net 5 times in the final match. And the goalkeeper, who made some important saves early on, CHIAM, completing the 13-team lineup, or 13-man lineup for Singapore. Dejan Milakovic, their coach, will be working with them, continuing to watch their progression. already targeted a 4th place finish at the Asian Games next year, which would be one better than they managed in 2014 when they were 5th out of 7 in the men's water polo competition. For several of those players, it's a chance to add yet another goal to the medal collection. Your Southeast Asian Games gold medal water polo winners, the team from Singapore.
Ladies
And the final
gentlemen,
formality, of course, will be to play the Singapore national anthem.
Singapore.
Plenty of Singapore fans have also stayed around to see the gold medals presented, and Singapore once again can celebrate being on top of the podium at a Southeast Asian Games. 4 matches played, 3 wins and a draw. Worthy winners on goal difference. Not quite as clear-cut as they would have liked after that draw with Indonesia, but a victory all the same. So Singapore take the gold, Indonesia the silver, and Malaysia the bronze. And that concludes the men's water polo at this year's competition. They can go off and celebrate, and plenty more gold medals I'm sure will be coming, but all those nations' way over the next couple of weeks or so.